let me run through the stages quickly. So here's the first research question that I asked myself. When employees, so I'm thinking about this in an organizational context, all right? When employees come together to meet, it could be face-to-face, it could be virtual, it could be hybrid, doesn't matter what the configuration is. What do they want to accomplish in the room, so to speak? And so I identified 4 objectives that human beings have. Number 1, they want connection. They want to be included. That's one of the things that they want to accomplish. Second, they want to learn. They want to grow. They want to develop. Third, they want to contribute. They want to make a difference. And fourth, they want to change and improve things. So the second question that I asked was, is there a sequence to this? Is it random? And out of that research came the identification of the 4 stages of psychological safety, which is a universal pattern. And it lays out the sequence in which human beings try to satisfy those basic human needs. So once the material needs are met, we move on to non-material needs. That's what psychological safety is all about. It's how and in what sequence humans attempt to satisfy their non-material psychological needs. So stage 1 is inclusion safety. And that means that you feel safe to be yourself. It's not expensive to be your authentic self. And you feel a sense of inclusion, acceptance, and a sense of belonging. That's stage 1. And it's first in sequence because in the research, it's very clear that human beings seek to satisfy that need first. Then we go to stage 2, which is learner safety, which means that you feel safe to engage in the learning process without fear of being embarrassed or marginalized or punished in some way. That means that you can engage in acts of learning vulnerability, such as, well, I can ask a question. I can say, I don't know. I can make a mistake. I can try something new. I can ask for feedback. There's a subset of vulnerable behaviors that pertain specifically to learning. You'll be rewarded for those. That's stage 2, learner safety. Then we go to stage 3, which is contributor safety. You feel safe and are given the opportunity to make a meaningful contribution, to do work that matters. And you're given an appropriate level of autonomy to do that, as well as role clarity. That's stage 3. And that satisfies a very basic human need to contribute, gain some control, have some autonomy and contribution. And then finally, we go to stage 4, the culminating stage, which is challenger safety. Challenger safety means that you feel safe to challenge the status quo, again, without fear of negative consequences. And as you can imagine, when we're thinking about challenging the status quo, it gets a little scary. It's pretty frightening for most people because the stakes are high and the margin of error is low. You're thinking about your reputation. You're thinking about career growth. You're thinking about upward mobility potential. You're thinking about your job. But you can do that. So stage 4 means you can challenge the status quo and you'll be rewarded for that behavior. And by the way, stage 4, challenger safety, is where we innovate. That's where most of the innovation takes place because innovation requires deviation. Mm. It requires that we disrupt and challenge the status quo. So that's a brief outline of the stages and the progression through them.